You're listening to.
You are listening to.
You're listening.
Yo, what up, bitches? You're listening to Hey Poopy Podcast. Get your shit on.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
And now, the Hey Poopy Podcast with Dave and Ellen.
Hey everybody, we are back on Dump Day.
We are. We're here. And this is Hey Poopy Podcast with
Dave
and Ellen. And this is episode 77, but it'll always be number 2 to us.
And we have an amazing special guest with us, Mr. Mike Sinclair, all the way from San Diego area.
Yep.
Thanks for being on the show, man. Good. Thanks for doing this.
I just did a screenshot of us. Hold on. There we go.
Perfect.
Looking good. Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, I'm a big skateboarding fan, and then I just over the years seen you obviously skating, but also just on various shows and videos. So always been a big fan, and I'm just really happy that you were able to do this with us.
Heck yeah. Who wrote the theme song?
Oh, our friend Jordan.
He did a good job. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a guest on the podcast. The whole podcast started with a private Facebook page about talking about poops and farts. And so when we were putting this podcast together, I was like, I know the perfect person to write our theme song. And he killed it.
Yeah,
he nailed it.
He's a session drummer out in Tennessee, out in Nashville.
Oh, cool.
So he's very musical, which is good. But
heck yeah.
Yeah. So again, welcome to the show. And we always start this thing off with asking our guests, how their poops have been.
Yeah, how have your poops been?
Well, they've been great. They've been good. I've been trying to lose a little bit of weight since I'm at home on just on a set schedule now. Usually I'm on trips back to back.
Yeah.
So I was on a no carb diet day 4, which I've never done before, and then I dropped a couple pounds, and then yesterday I was down another half a pound, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna weigh myself after this shit. I just hit a certain amount, and then I got on the toilet. I got on the scale, and then I got on the toilet, then I got back on the scale, and I'm like, damn, that was I'm bad with math or the measurements, but it was 0.8, and then it went down to 0.1. So
wow!
Yeah, that's a nice one.
That's a big ass shit, man.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's a big one, boy. That's way over half a pounder right there.
Oh,
that's
easy.
Incredible.
That's nuts.
The most I've ever lost when I weighed myself before and after a shit was a colonic. I lost 4 pounds.
Oh yeah, you know what? I gained weight on that shit.
Really?
No, I had a.
Just put more in.
Wait, is it the same thing when you have the? God, what's that?
Did you have a colonoscopy?
Colonoscopy. And I was
No. This was a colonic where they shove water in and then flush it all out.
Oh, I had a colonoscopy, and you know how they make you drink all that stuff, and you just So I was like, I'm gonna drop 20 pounds. I gained a pound. I came home after the whole thing and procedures. I'm gonna get on the scale. Gained a pound.
That's crazy.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I had it. That's fucked up.
See the Bristol stool chart? What is the consistency of your do?
Yeah, this one was I think I saw it on there. It's like a snake. It was smooth like a snake.
Ooh,
oh, it's nice.
Number 4.
Yeah, number 4 is where you want to be. That's at the prime spot.
Yeah, it was prime today.
It kind of looks like, I don't know if you...
Oh, there we go.
There it is. Yeah, number 4.
Oh, perfect. There you go, man.
Yeah.
You like golden.
That's the best. That's the gold standard.
Little brown snake snuck on out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So Ellen, how's your poop today?
My poo-poo was pretty good today. I realized from the last episode that I checked in that I cannot do the gluten-free bread, so I've been eating for breakfast, instead of avocado toast, I've been having a rice cake with almond butter on it. And
extra healthy.
Made the easiest peasiest poo-poo today, but it was kind of like a 4.5, 5. Because it looked like a 4, but it was breaking apart. It was a little loose. So, but at least I made one solid dump today. I'm pretty excited.
Nice. Well, you should.
You guys,
How about you, Dave?
Oh yeah, go ahead, Dave.
No, I was gonna say like, you should know about Ellen. Ellen takes these she'll go for like a period where she won't go to the bathroom, and then she'd be like taking like massive like shits like left and right. It's insane. But,
yeah, the last episode we recorded, I checked in that I took 3 dumps before we recorded, like massive. Yeah.
Hey, it's just in there. Whenever it wants to come out, it just comes knocking.
Exactly.
It's hard to plan your day sometimes.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. I had like the stress shits today. I just been like, I work mainly as like I work as a photographer, but I also work as a graphic designer. Like do a lot of like animation, like motion graphic stuff. And I'm working with this new company, and it's like chaos. It's not chaos, but it's just like, you know, people are hitting you up from like, I mean, you probably know, Mike, so you deal with this stuff all the time, but like getting emails and texts like from like 1,000 people at once, and then you don't have a moment to kind of like sort of think. And then right before, like maybe like a half hour before this thing started, I took like the worst shit ever. It was like it was like a mess. It was embarrassing.
I don't get stress shits. I get stress pisses. Like I have to piss like 10 times.
Oh wow.
But I just started following you when you hit me up about this thing, and there was a photo. I guess I'm assuming that you shot, and it resonated with me. I'm like, you know what? I can't wait to talk to this guy, because this photo right here, I've done this, and it was the girl taking a bath eating Oreos.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I've been there. I do
that. So that girl, it's so funny. It was her birthday a couple days ago. Our friend Dottie, and she lives.
Happy birthday, Dottie!
Yeah, she lives upstairs from Ellen.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Well, tell her one day I hope to meet, and I respect her.
Oh my god, yeah, that was a fun shoot. Yeah, she's hilarious.
She's part of my quarantine. Like,
there you go.
I hang out with her because if she lives in the same building, we're all sharing the same germs. So
also, you got a crackhead there.
long as you're comfortable with the crew around you. No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we all got tested together and everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
So should we go to some questions from Mike?
Well, no. Before we go into the questions, Mike, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
So, I don't even know how my own show works.
Oh, about me?
Yeah.
Just for the audience, like, you know,
that's non-poop related. So the audience is like, oh, that's who they're interviewing.
Okay. Well, I've been a skateboarder my whole life. Actually, I was a roller skater when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
But I was. But no, skateboarder since I was like, I don't know, 14 or something, and worked around skateboarding forever. Loved it. Still love it to death today. And got some jobs in the skateboard world, and then that's what brought me to California, and done a bunch of tours, worked for a bunch of different companies, and then met a ton of awesome people, and some of the same friends that I met when I was like 15, 20 years old, like I still like great friends with them today from this, and still work with them. So
that's amazing.
It's been awesome. Yeah, no complaints.
That's awesome. You still skate?
I skate a little bit, yes. My bones are all fucked up. I had 2 ACLs. My ankle's fucked right now from I don't even know what, but like it hurts. When you're older, it hurts. But, yes, I still go out and skate. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I just
not at the level. Not at the level of people that I work around. I take all these kids to all these crazy spots, and it's like it blows my mind that this is even happening. Like that they're even that skateboarding made it to this level, and I can just sit there and watch it. So I'm like, it's crazy.
It's amazing.
Totally.
I saw a bunch of the stuff where you were doing the AM scramble for Thrasher with those kids.
Oh yeah,
it's like nuts. These kids are like, it's like
they're
machines.
Insane. Yeah, so I got invited to go on that trip, and I just drove my van around and got all the guys in the van and took them to all these spots, and with the help of some other guys that were helping us locate the spots and just filming. But I was pretty much just like on that trip. That trip, I didn't have much responsibility. It was just like, hey, do you want to go? And I was like, yes. And then I just kind of sat back and watched everything happen, and it's mind blowing. And then they make an awesome video out of it and put it out there for all the skateboard fans to check out. And I was just stoked to see it firsthand. You know?
Yeah, I'm too.
Because sometimes stuff doesn't translate to video as well as when you just see it in person, and you're like, oh, I can't believe he just did this. And then it's like, the video is still awesome, but like seeing it live is like a whole different thing.
Oh, for sure. Crazy. Yeah, completely.
I feel like that's with like a lot of sports, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
baseball is boring on TV, but it's great in person, you know?
Hey,
Yeah.
but it's good to sit down and chill out and get a bunch of snacks. And
Exactly.
That is true.
yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
I haven't paid attention to the
Yeah.
game half the time. But
Yeah, we just got a bunch of good food.
yeah. No, I'm a huge fan of skateboarding, but I mean, I just my skateboard days I go from the bodega to my apartment because that's about as much as I can handle. Because as you get older, everything hurts, and then
Yeah.
you just think about stuff that like you don't think about when you're like 15. Like, oh, if I break my
and-
hand, like I can't work.
Yeah, and your reaction time is off the older you get. So like if you hit a rock when you're like 15 or 20, you can run out of it and laugh. But like when you're our age and you hit that rock, you're like you're sliding on your neck. Going, what the fuck just happened?
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm with you on that. But yeah. Awesome. So should we, Ellen, want to go with some questions now?
Yes.
Awesome.
Now that we know who you are, we're going to go into more about your poo.
All right.
We will start with the softball question. What kind of toilet paper do you like, and do you hang it on the roll over or under?
Oh, you know what? I'm a Charmin man. And,
Okay.
And I like the I don't even know what they're called. I don't even study it or look at them. It's like, ooh, that's what I want. Charmin looks soft. I'm getting the softest, right? So I get the Charmin with where the toilet paper rolls are like 10 rolls in one or whatever they are. It's like
You get the mega rolls. Oh yeah.
Just get the mega roll, and then I put it on the thing so that I pull it down. I'm like
So it's an over.
Yeah, it's an over.
Okay.
So it's coming to you, cascading over instead of swiping underneath.
Yeah, because in my house there's like these little hip things, like you put the toilet paper on this little thing and there's like so it falls out. So like I don't want to pull it this way because the damn toilet paper flies off the hook.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling that motherfucker down every time. And then most of the times I just take it off the hook and I'm like, give me all. Just making.
I do that too.
Yeah, I do that a lot. It's
Making
easier.
a mitt.
Exactly.
Like a glove,
Protect yourself.
a fucking
Yeah.
duty fist. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And when you wipe, do you sit or stand to wipe your butt?
I kind of like lean to the side.
Oh.
So I'm just sitting there.
I wouldn't
My
know.
boyfriend does the leaning to the side too, and he's broken toilet seats because of it.
I feel like mine's gonna break any day. Yeah, I'm overdue for the snap for sure.
Yeah, mine has
I
like
feel
that little base part, like the little nubs that go under the toilet.
Yep.
One side's like so smushed down on one side, and then the other.
Yeah.
My ass is like
but you know,
uneven.
Ours.
I never thought about this until I got my own place. But there's there's probably more, but there's two types of toilets, right? There's the little circle, it's a perfect circle, or then there's elongated. And
Yes.
I can't even get comfortable on a circle anymore. It has to be elongated.
The
Like-
elongated is so much better.
Yeah, the circles
it's
are
it's like a Cadillac. It's like this is what we all need. We don't need the little circle. That's
Yeah.
for like children.
yeah. I'm with you on
Yeah.
that. I'm a big dude, so I need
completely
I need
agree.
a lot of space.
Yeah. Trying to shit on this little circle.
Well, we
I'm
have
with
an
you on that.
elongated toilet, and we got the bio bidet, and so there's like a whole tank to the bio bidet. The bio bidet, like it's a tank, it's a seat, it's like everything. As my boyfriend says, it does a blow and go, and but because of the tank, it shortened the elongated seat, so there's less area, and I'm like, wait,
That's not
what
cool.
happened here?
Never been on a bidet.
Oh, it's the best.
The closest I've ever come is like a Love's truck stop where you get that extra backsplash because they got that rocket fuel that flushes it or something. You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
They call that
That's it.
Poseidon's kiss.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Like I never tried a bidet out. My wife used to work at this magazine, and they did a whole story on like those little snap-on bidets.
Yeah.
And she brought one home from a photo shoot that they just didn't want to use anymore, or they didn't use at all. It's in a box. And I'm like, let me put this thing together. And I tried it, and I was like, it just changed my life. Cause like you just wind up like you just feel clean all the time.
Yeah, and maybe I should get one, but then I'd probably be so grumpy on the road. So maybe I'm better off not knowing.
But I have the bidet in the toilet, but then I have a travel one.
Oh.
too.
It looks like
And
a water
kind
bottle.
of like a fancy water bottle, so at least you can still wash instead of wipe, which is
Yeah.
so much better.
But I'm telling you, man, like, yeah, it does ruin you in the sense where, like, if you have it at home and then you go anywhere else that doesn't have one, you're like, what the fuck is this?
You're just pissed off and ready to get home.
Oh yeah, when I
Exactly.
go to friends' houses or like places I'm visiting, I'm like, where is this bidet at? I'm like all like, trying to be all fancy.
How do you keep your ass clean?
Yeah, exactly.
They just need to reinstall everybody with a bidet, I guess. I've never tried one, but I'm
Yeah.
down. Go on and put one in.
Yeah, man. It took me like 15
You
minutes.
need
to
it
put this-
everywhere.
It's the best. Like 15-minute installation, and I can't like build shit, so I was even shocked that I got that in there. But
Nice.
that's for later.
Do you have any memories of farts and poops as a kid?
You know what? One of the nastiest ones that I remember is, I mean, I don't know how old you would be when your like parents still like give you a bath. So what is it, like 3, 2, 4?
Something like that. Yeah.
I don't know
In that range.
But I remember this, and it's still with me. So it was shocking, but my mom was giving me a bath, and then she stepped out of the bathroom for a minute. Maybe she had to answer the phone. I don't know. This is so long ago. But I remember when she came back in, because I was just sitting in there just like a little kid bobbing around, whatever. And she's like, no! And I was like, what? And then she must have grabbed me and just pulled me out of the tub. And I just stood up, or she was holding me on the edge of the tub. And I remember just seeing that number 4. That number 4 was just sitting in there. So...
You pinched it off without even knowing?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or maybe I
Actually
knew.
appeared?
Maybe I knew I did. I don't even know. It was just in there. I was like, I did it. It's mine, but I don't remember it happening. But I remember the chaos that it caused, and I still remember that.
I like that you had no shame and shit
No.
in the tub.
Yeah.
Oh my
And the
God.
shame came with your mother.
It was kind of like my own little Caddyshack, but I hadn't grown up and
Yeah,
seen
right?
that yet. Yeah.
You're
Just don't eat
It's like a
that, baby
precursor.
Ruth.
Yeah.
Oh
don't
my
grab
God.
that
I mean,
baby
I'm
Ruth,
sure
whatever you do.
that age group, I'm sure that happens all the time. So,
Yeah.
You're in
but
good company.
it's still with me, so I remember that.
Oh, that's funny.
What is your best cure for diarrhea or constipation?
Oh, diarrhea, Tums, just Tums. And then
Oh.
if it gets crazy, I just get Imodium, AD, or
Yeah.
is that what it's Imodium?
Yeah.
That
Imodium.
usually plugs it up pretty good. But constipation, I'm not constipated that much, and I eat brick loads of cheese, but I don't know. Maybe I've had to like rock back and forth a couple times to get something going.
Yeah.
But nah, I'm not like. There's never like that many failed trips to the toilet. It's
Oh,
usually
you're lucky.
it's usually happening.
Yeah, Ellen goes
And
through
then-
bouts of that.
I this has nothing to do with constipation, but I don't know what you call this type of person, but I like to I don't like to, but I'm like, I don't want to go to the bathroom, so like I'll hold that motherfucker for hours. I'll hold on to that motherfucker. Like I'm just like, nah, not right now. Nah,
That's some real
watch it.
sphincter control.
You're just like, I'm watching the rest of this movie. I'm not getting up right now. So
Now, I used to be like that.
Then it's like it's ready. It's not gonna wait. When like I've held it so long, it's ready. It's
It's just coming. Damn.
yeah, it's right there.
Not me. If I try to do that, I will either shit my pants or it'll go upstairs and stay there
Yeah,
and not
But
come down.
Yeah, sometimes they just go upstairs,
Yeah.
and then I
back
get kind of bummed because like, man, I could have, like I should probably let that thing go, but I held on to it.
Yeah.
Oh
The
my
majority
God.
of the time, when it's knocking, it needs to be let out.
I know,
Like-
I know that. I just it's
No,
just
for
the person.
me,
Oh.
it'll get let off one way or the other. It'll come in my pants or the toilet. I have a choice.
The only time I kind of do that is like in the morning when I'm like just tired and I don't want to get out of bed and I
Yeah.
know I gotta go. That's the only time I kind of do that stuff. But usually if I just go, I just gotta go because
Yeah.
I can't. I used to do it when I was younger and I just remember being like awful.
Yeah.
But
I got a friend that's like he's got I don't know what he has. It's like IBS or he's got something else, but like his whole thing is he'll be totally fine, but you put him in an automobile and we got to go up to LA. It's like 15 minutes. He's like, and like, I'm like, what? And he's like, it's just in his mind, you know?
Damn.
It's
psychological.
Mind, so
yeah.
We drive separate cars now. We don't.
You're on your own, man. You're on your own.
Yeah. Not playing that game.
Talking about possibly pooping in your pants. This is our favorite question on the podcast.
Okay.
If you have Bristol 7 butt pee-pee coming out and there's no toilet in sight,
yeah.
Do you go in your pants or do you find someplace on the ground, a.k.a. floor? Floor versus pants.
Floor, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like so this one time I was on a trip. And
yes, stories we need.
Yeah, I was on a trip and these guys were like, I don't know, they're like half a mile away. But we were calling them, but they weren't picking up because they were filming each other. And I was calling them, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, they were just supposed to be, they were just going to go look at something. But of course, it becomes an hour. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I had, what did you call it? Number 7?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like liquid shits, basically. It's coming
I
out.
had 7+, right? It's when you get that serious rumble, like where it affects, like you can't hear anybody, you can't think about anything else. It's just, it's like it's there. It's like the only thing that your mind is thinking about is like, what the fuck is about to happen? So here was my trick. It was at nighttime. We were in Vallejo, California, and we were in this parking lot waiting, and I was looking around, and there was people in my van. Like, say there's 3 or 4 people in there, but the van usually holds about 11 people. So the rest of the guys were at this spot, and then I just start backing up, and everybody's like, "Whoa, where are we going?" I was like, "Shut up!" And I was like, I just backed up, and then, but before all this, I was looking for places to, like, you know, like a restaurant or whatever. It was too late. Everything was closed. This was closed, and I'm like, if I go into a restaurant, if I even make it that far, and the stall is somebody in there, it's game over. So I'm like, all right, well, here's what I got to do. So I put it in reverse. I backed up in this parking lot, and there was people walking out of this parking lot too, like a show or something just got out. So I was like, man, everything about this right now sucks. So I back up, and I backed up all the way to the end of the parking lot, and then I opened the 2 van doors, like, so it's like a shield, right?
Yeah.
And then the guys in the van like, Mike, what are you doing? I'm like, do not turn around. Don't look at me. I go, don't turn around. Don't look at me. Don't film me. And I think I cussed him out too. But I sat on the bumper of the van. I sat on the bumper, and then it was hot lava. And then I was like, as it was going, I was like, no. It was like, I was like, it's going to get all over my shoes.
Oh no!
Splatter.
Yes.
But luckily I had shoes in the van, so it was like a full, like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. It's all over the parking lot. The shoes were left right beside the damage, and then I just get back in the van, get new shoes on. Finally, the guys called. I picked them up, and they're like, everybody else in the van was like, dude, you guys should have seen what happened. And then I was like, no, nobody should have seen what happened. So that was a terrible moment. That's one of those moments where you like, you just think about what's the worst that could happen. Like, if I had to use that was my worst moment. Yeah. And it happened in Vallejo, California.
Do you know what you ate that failed you?
No idea.
It just happened.
But on those trips, it's like, here's the problem. Most of those guys are half my age. They eat all day long. So they eat like 10 meals a day, right? And I'm like, oh, I did pretty good today. I only ate like 7 meals. I should be eating like 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who knows what I.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, like, usually I'm waiting or watching these guys get a trick. So I'm just like constantly like, there's just chips or Red Bond. There's like, it's just, you're just shoveling shit in your mouth all day long. And I have no idea. My guess was Chipotle and 700 snacks. So.
Oh my god!
I always like to know if you could pinpoint that thing that failed you. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's some things that like I've eaten that failed me that I will never touch again, and then there's other things that I love so much that I'm like, well, I'm gonna play with fire one more time.
I do all the time.
Yeah, there just used to be this place in San Diego, and it's called, I don't even know if it's still there, but it was called Beachside, and it was just a little grill by the beach, and my buddy used to love it, and he's like, let's go to Beachside, and I was like, fuck, man. Every time I go to Beachside, I get the shits. Like, I don't even get the shits, but except for at Beachside. So, like, I'm like, all right, because it was like a cool place to hang out. It was like, homies were there, whatever, it was nice, and then I traced it down to whatever they cook the French fries in. I'm like, if this place would fuck me up so bad, I would have the shits in the restaurant. I didn't even get home. It's that quick.
Damn.
So after like, I don't know, a year of hanging out at Beachside, I just like, no, never again. I just can't. Yeah, we can't go to Beachside no more.
That was me and Hooters.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I ate at Hooters.
Yeah, Hooters.
Shit afterward. And then like, I'm just going to get a salad because the salad can't fail me, right?
Yep.
Totally had explosive shits from the salad too. I was like, well, that's the end of that.
Yeah.
Hooters is so bad. The last time I went, I ordered chocolate cake and nachos. That's how bad I hate that place.
That's like an amazing combination.
Yeah.
And it did me right. It did me right. There's no problems.
I imagine you hear sounds later on like this, you'd be like,
You okay?
Yeah.
oh my god. Yeah, for me it's like if I eat like anything super fried chicken, like that night or that day, it's just like it's over. It's like I can't go anywhere because it'll fuck me up.
Yeah, so I don't eat fried chicken much, but when I'm back in the South, I go to Bojangles.
Oh yeah, Bojangles, yeah.
So I get the extra crispy with the little spice or whatever it was called. I don't know what it's called because I've been there so long, but it's like it's not the original, but it's the next. And it's like, and it's so oily, so greasy, and I eat pretty bad, but like I get that, and it's like I tell everybody, I'm like, hey, if we eat this, I got about an hour and a half, and then it's over. We're done. So if this is what you guys want to do, I got about an hour and a half.
I get all cocky. My friend that makes this amazing fried chicken, and I go over her place, and I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy some really good food, and then like, yeah, but I can't go out and do anything after. I have to go straight home.
Yeah,
because it's gonna be a disaster. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, but Dave, you're that way with popcorn, Thai food, like anything.
It's just like
Dave and I could eat the exact same meal, and I'll be constipated, and he'll be in the toilet the rest of the time. Like we are polar opposites.
Yeah. My guts.
Well, their gut is polar opposite.
Yeah. I just got to learn how to not overindulge. Everything, whether it be M&Ms or a steak or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'll eat until I'm like part of the couch, and then I'm like, and I thought that was like the best feeling you can have. But most people are like, I don't want to feel like that. I'm like, that's when I feel good. Like, that's when I know, like I was a bad boy. Yeah, I was like, hey, this is crazy right here.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Where you're so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides your van story, do you have any other funny accident stories or?
There's been, there hasn't been any crazy ones except the same thing happened, but a couple years later. But I was at a school in a schoolyard, and the same thing happened. It just hit, and I was like, oh no! And we had to jump this like gigantic fence, and I'm like,
oh no!
If I even have to like reach up to get the first, like, it's gonna shoot out. Like I was like, oh my god! So I was at this school, and I was with a ton of people, and I'm like, I can't leave. It's gonna happen here. Like I don't know what to do. So I remember going behind a tree, and then when I went behind a tree and kind of hunkered down, people were looking at me. I was like, fuck, they can see me. So then I was like, no, not here. And they're like, Mike, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not doing anything. And then so I started walking around the school, and then I started noticing the school had all these cameras, and I'm like, God. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm on camera. So then I put my hood up, and I put shades on in the hood, so I look like the Unabomber out there. And then I found this little part of this. Yeah, I went around to the very back of the school where there was like, it was the best thing I could find. It was like a little cinder block wall that had like a little ledge on it. But then the bad part is that it was like kind of like countersunk into the ground, and in front of me was a little hill, and on the little hill was a little sidewalk where people could walk down. So if somebody's walking by, they could see me. And I heard footsteps, and then I was like, all right, these guys got to get out of here, and then I'll do it. And then like family walking their dog, and then I'm looking around for like cameras. I'm like, all right, there's no cameras here. And then the same thing, just everything just left right there at the school. And then for a week, I was just the most guilty feeling in the world. I'm like, I'm gonna be on the news, and it's gonna be like, can you identify this man? And then I was like, I felt horrible. So horrible.
Oh, fuck, man.
You're a different kind of Unabomber.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit in the street.
So, but yeah, those are the two gnarliest ones. Other than that, I've been pretty lucky, and I've just been on trips where I had to get to the restroom really quick, but like those are like two in the wild that like just like out of nowhere, and I still don't know what caused either one.
Damn.
Yeah. But I usually try to travel with some Tums just in the van, just in case I even get a hint of it. Like, oh,
yeah. This is a stop
I
at this
always try
tracks.
to have Pepto on me.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
with you.
for that
man.
reason.
Oof.
Got to.
What's the worst public toilet you've ever pooped in? Or
Well-
just even walked into and was like, nope, I can't go here.
Okay, so there's this. I went to this like a natural hot spring. My friend was like all into hot springs, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm sure. I'll go with you. And then I get there, and I'm like, it's like the color of the hot spring was like the color green that like your toxic green, where you're like, that's probably. I don't think we should go in there.
Yeah.
And like he's in there. He's like, it's warm, and I'm like, well, it might be warm, but I'm not getting in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, you do your thing. I'm gonna hang out by the car, like whatever. And then I remember, like, damn, I kind of got a shit. Like, I'm gonna go in this bathroom, and it was like a I don't know what you call these, but it's like it's not a porta-john, but it's like a shell, right? It's like a shell, and then it's all just a hole, like down in the earth or something.
I don't know
It's
if I've
like-
ever seen those.
Wow.
Yeah, it was at the spot, and I opened the door, and it hit me
Punch you
in the face,
face.
and I swear it looked like someone threw me out of the thing, because I walked in, I was like, whoa, like it was the hardest smell I've ever smelled, and I was like, yeah, and I gag on gnarly smells, so like if I go into like a just a bad restroom, I'm like, ugh. So like that thing, it like surpassed the gag. It smacked me in the face and threw me out of there.
Just
So like
pick the back of your shirt. Just like,
What's that?
it just picked up in the back of the shirt. Just like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
So you couldn't go, so what did you end up doing?
I just held it. I don't even know if I even pissed. That was it. Like, I think I was just bored. Like, I probably could shit right now, or I don't know. But that thing, it hit me so hard, it got rid of whatever I had.
Yeah.
Because it was that bad.
It straightened you out.
Yeah.
I want to know what the shelled-like porta potty is. I've never heard
from
of
what from what I remember, it was just a shell over dirt, and it was hot as fire in there, because this was like out
But
in
it
the.
had a door.
Yeah, you open the door, and it's like just a plastic shell.
Oh, I know what you're talking
But-
about. Yes, it's like a yeah. I've actually seen those before. It looks like not plastic, but some kind of like. It's like sort of see-through-y, but it's like a stiff breeze could probably blow it over. It's like a little it's like a little like, but the whole thing is crazy. That's like,
But the thing, like, I don't even know, because the porta potties it has on there, like, last checked or cleaned
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 days ago. Like, there's no, this thing probably hasn't been touched since the 80s. Yeah, and it's like, it is gnarly.
We interviewed a guy who basically does this like commune hippie camp kind of witchy thing, and he helped clean out a latrine
Oh.
that had only been there for 10 months.
oof.
and he said it was just awful. So something that had been there decades, like
He's been cleaning the shit. Like he had to like dig it all out. I'm like, nope.
I don't even remember exactly what happened, but I think it was Jackass 3 and 3D where they got the guy in the toilet and they flip it over.
porta potty.
Yeah.
The thing.
Was that Steve-O? Like who did that? I can't remember.
Probably, but there's just no way. Like if someone did that joke to me, there's no forgiving.
Oh, I'd kill him.
No.
I would have been in jail.
Everybody.
I would be in jail. Like I'd be like,
yeah, for sure.
Like what you in for, Mike? You don't even want to know.
Yeah, you don't even want to know.
Nope.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to your partner about poo talk, or are they somebody who's not interested?
Oh yeah. I've showed my wife like one that came out of the water before. She didn't like it.
We call that the Nessie because it's like the Loch Ness monster when it pokes
I think
out.
I've only had that like once or twice in my entire life. But I was like, oh, you gotta look, you have to see this. And she's like, what is it?
Not happy.
No, she wasn't happy.
She wasn't feeling that. I'm still waiting for my Nessie. I still haven't had one of those yet. Shockingly, I
have them all the time.
Yeah. Ellen's blessed. Apparently.
Yeah.
When it's good, it's very good. When it's bad, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But can you like talk about farts? Can you fart around your wife? Like, does she fart around you? Like, or are you guys just like?
We're pretty respectful of each other, but you know,
it happens.
We're pretty respectful. Cool. Like I'm not sitting on the couch and like, hey, check this out. Like I'm not that type of guy. And she's not that type of girl, but yeah.
I mean, you might be living in more of a proper house. I live in a small New York City apartment, so farts happen. It's hard to like. We have one toilet. Like,
oh no,
you can't remove yourself from the other person.
My goal in life is to have 2 toilets. That's something simple. I just want 2 toilets in my life. Just
well, we're lucky enough. We have a 2-story house where we have 3 toilets, and just the other day we only have 1 toilet that's downstairs, and I told my wife, I'm like, we need another fucking toilet in this house. You can never have enough. I'd put 6 toilets in this fucking place if I could.
Oh my god,
that's what I want. That's my dream.
I know somebody who lives in this old house, and the only bathroom is on the 2nd floor. One toilet on the 2nd floor. I'm like, no. There has to be at least 1 bathroom per floor. No way.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
I'm not going up and downstairs to poo. No.
I need some for an emergency run. Or just to go think.
You need one out in the garage.
Garage?
You need it everywhere.
Yes.
The best.
I want it as close as humanly possible to me, but not far enough away I don't have to smell it.
And then you need, like, in case you have one of those Vallejo type shits, you need one of that sneaky bathroom where like people don't even know it's in your house.
Yeah.
And they're like, where the hell's Mike? And you're like, that way you can just do the damage. No one can smell it. No one even knows what's going on. It's like it never happened. You need that hide.
Exactly.
You need like that Batman. Yeah, like you just pull a book and then the side the thing opens up.
Yeah. You need that hide a bathroom. That's
it.
That's the goal.
I like it.
But if you're driving around in a van full of like young kids, I bet like boys, I bet there's a lot of potty humor going on there.
Sorta. I mean, yeah.
Are they farting and laughing?
There's some bad smells in the van, and you don't even know if it's shit. You don't know what it is. So like, yeah. So
where it's just coming from.
You don't know what it is, where it's coming from, how this is even real, and the last gnarly smell that I had in the van, it was just me. I was like, for a couple days, I was like, what is that? And then people were like, I don't know. They're back there smoking, doing whatever they do. And then I was like, second day, I'm like, dude, something is dead in the van. And then I'm like, it's got to be wet clothes. I don't know what it is, you know? The third day, I'm like, hey, guys, before anybody can get out of this van, we're taking everything out of this van. We're finding whatever the smell is. And people are like, dude, I'm starting to smell it. And I'm like, I've been smelling it for 3 days. So the thing was, it ended up being, everything got ripped out of the van. The last thing we did was we took this generator out of the back of the van, and someone had put a turkey sandwich underneath the generator.
Oh my God! Fucking evil!
Just a dead bird in the back. It was terrible.
I mean, I gotta give it to you, man. I don't know how. I mean, I love the idea of like going on a skateboard tour, and like that sounds like fun, but the whole, just like the mix of people, and like some people that are dirty as fuck, some people are like kind of clean, you know, just the mix of personalities and just the odors have got to be like, I mean,
it's insane.
Have you seen anybody like? I mean, I'm sure too. Like just being on tour a bunch. Like there must. Have you ever seen like a bunch of like skaters like just do some crazy like just shit in their pants stories or anything like that?
Well, there's this one guy that's on the team, and he's like I don't know, man. He's like, I wish I could do this, but like he'll I don't know why he even bothers to tell me anymore. He's like, Mike, I got a shit. I'm like, huh? And then like I'm like thinking like, okay, I'll get to a bathroom in 10 minutes. Like I got to load this up. I got to do this. And then he's already back skating. I'm like, what? You want to go to the store? And he's like, no, over there in the bushes. I'm like, what? He can do it in a second and no toilet paper, and he's back. And I'm like, how is that possible?
Damn.
He just pinches them off anywhere like a dog.
Within 3 seconds.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's I've never seen anything like it. But he's never asked for me to take him anywhere. He just always comes up to me, maybe because in case he's missing.
Right.
But he can do it. He can do it and come back to the van before I can even get everybody in the van. So I don't know why he ever tells me. You know?
Wow.
Damn. That's a skill.
Yeah.
That is a skill.
Yeah. Well, those skateboarders, they're talented people. So you
They
know,
are.
all types of
They are. I mean, you know, so yeah, I guess it's not really that shocking, I suppose.
Yeah. No, I just wish I could do that. I wish I could just do that at the house. Like sometimes you're in there and you're looking at your phone for 10 minutes and you're like, man, what? But if you could just go in the bathroom and do it in three seconds, that's like
Yeah.
life changing.
I do not
Especially
have
when
that
you have
skill.
to like leave the house, you know, before quarantine. Like I'm a photographer too. I would like to poop and then go to my job and not worry about it. Like, you know.
Well, those are what I'm talking about. Maybe those count as stress shits, but like if I try to crap before I do something like that, like I'm like I think about it too much and it won't happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That's me.
yeah.
And then I'm like on a photo shoot. I photo naked ladies, and I'm on a photo shoot with these beautiful naked women. And because the poop has gone up, the gas is still trying to push through. And I'm like stress, anxiety farting the entire shoot. And it's like not sexy whatsoever. And I have to apologize for being gross.
Yeah, but how do you think these girls feel? They're laying there completely naked, and they're probably like, "I got to shit."
They're like, can you move that? Yes, move your arm to the left right there. It's like,
They're like, Ellen, how does that look? And you're like, it looks great. And they're like, good. Can I be excused? I have to.
yeah, you done? Ellen told us on the podcast once she was doing a shoot in a park, and then she wanted to have to take a shit
Behind a
like
tree.
behind a tree.
Like a bear in the woods. And my
There was-
model was the lookout to make sure nobody was like looking at me behind the tree. And it was like Bristol 7 like coming out of me like hot lava. I had no choice.
Oh
There was
no!
no public bathroom around because we were in the middle of like this huge park. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, gotta go.
Gotta
I
go.
love that
New
story.
York's got to be tough. Like New York and San Francisco, like I have to like change even the way I eat because I'm like I know it's coming and I'm like I don't even know where I would go and they're not going to let you in. Not gonna. There's no bathroom.
Yeah, it's
Well,
rough.
now during the quarantine because restaurants and stuff are
Oh,
closed.
yeah, fuck that.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We had a guy on the show that had some bad stomach issues on the train, hopped off way before his stop, and then like he was walking around like, and he wound up taking like I think like 2 or 3 shits before he got to his friend's place, and he's like shitting between. But the best one, he was shitting between 2 cars in front of a bar, and like all these people were outside smoking cigarettes. He said he just like dropped his pants, taking his shit, and pretending to like talk on the phone.
Dude, the first time on the train in San Diego was only like 2 years ago. Like something happened to my car, so I asked my buddy like, "How does the train work? How do I get to work? Whatever." And he told me, and then he texted me back. He's like, "How was the train today?" And I just texted him this photo. And while I was on the train, I was watching this girl, and and I was like, what is she doing? Why is she like walking around the tracks like we're about to take off? You know what I mean? She was obviously, the windows are tinted. She doesn't know who's in there, or maybe she just doesn't care. But she was walking around where I'm like, I'm thinking New York, but this is San Diego. We're not underground, but I'm like, don't those tracks kill you? Are they electric? I don't even know. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So she squats down, takes a shit right there, and I just take my phone. I'm like, I took the photo and I sent it to him. He goes, you ride the train one time and you get to see that. He goes, I take it every day. I was like, well,
that's the one thing in New York, man. Like you get schooled early when you first move here. Like the trick when you see like the one train with nobody on it, don't ever get on that one train because it's just like it's a nightmare when you open those doors open. But yeah,
man.
I've seen people shit, piss. Like it's just like it's like Wild West out here.
Yeah. Man.
And Dave, you wanted Mike on the podcast because of a story that you shared with me, right?
Oh, Mike was on another podcast talking about when you're driving back from North Carolina, right? Right before the whole lockdown.
Yeah.
And you made the
made the shit chair.
Tell our Hey Poopy audience about the shit chair.
During all this COVID stuff, I'm like super paranoid. So I was like, man, I don't want to go in any convenience stores. I don't want to stop. I just have to stop for gas, but I'm not going to go inside. And I'm not going to any restaurants. I'm like, where and when and how am I gonna shit? Like, so I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what?
You're driving across the entire country. It's not like a day trip.
From coast to coast, 3 days.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's gonna come. Like it has to happen. And I was like, should I eat less? They hold it. And it was like just all this crazy thoughts in my head. And I'm like, you know what? That camping chair right there, it just popped in my head. I'm like, if I just cut like a hole, like a toilet bowl, that's a comfortable chair. So then I cut the hole out, and then I duct taped around the hole. And then my first go at it, which I didn't use it, but I'm like, you know what? I'll put the chair down, but I'll put a 5-gallon bucket under it. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, I'll put a trash bag in the bucket so that I can just shit in this bucket and then take the trash bag and then throw the trash bag away. And then these are just my tools at this point, like the chair and the bucket. So, but it never got to that point. I never used the bucket. And
you didn't poop the whole 3 days?
No, I did. I was in the middle of New Mexico, and I was like, oh no. And then I was like, nobody around. And I used that same technique. I pulled into this place that was like kind of like a side pull off where they have a picnic table and stuff, but like nobody's out there. Like, and a car is going by every 2 minutes, like kind of desolate area. So I go to the back of the parking lot again, but this parking lot was made out of dirt and rocks. It was just like a desert, I pulled it to the back. I opened the van doors again. I took out the chair, and then I was doubting myself. I'm like, man, this ain't gonna work. The chair, I don't know. The chair's gonna rip. I don't know. I was just like having doubts, But then I just, sat in the chair, pants down, and I was like, all right. And then it worked like a normal toilet, except you didn't hear any water. It just hit the ground, and then I just made sure after I got up and folded the chair up, I just kicked rocks over the shit like a cat, and then I just carried on about my business.
I gotta say, man, that shit is like, it's kind of genius. Like that's like the perfect way to like just avoid any kind of contact with anybody. But like, it makes sense. Might as well be comfy.
And I before I left, I was like, they have like camping toilets and stuff. I've never used one, but I'm like, they're $200. Like, and then I was like, right now you don't know if your next paychecks are coming. You're like, I can't buy $200 for a toilet. And then I saw the chair. I'm like, the camping chair. That's it.
I already a genius, man. You MacGyvered the shit out of that thing, literally.
Yeah, I had to.
Oh my god, I thought that was when I heard that story, I was like, this is it's so good, man. I love it.
I still have the chair.
Oh, yeah, you never know, and you might need it again.
My friend was like, you got to throw it away. I'm like, dude, that hole is so big. You'd have to have to be your first time taking a crap to like hit the chair. Like, you're not going to hit the chair.
Yeah, exactly.
The chair's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean,
fine.
That stuff's going to come in handy. Keep in that van, Just mark it to say shit chair.
I I think I'm gonna get when trips start back up. I think I'm gonna put it in like a tripod bag and just maybe put a label on it, like toilet or something, and then so that's the chair. Like
Perfect.
If anybody's because
If you can, please take a picture of it and send it to us.
Oh my God, man, this shit is hilarious.
I will. I got it. The picture that I have is before I put duct tape on it. So you have to see what it looked like in a work in progress.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a prototype.
Yeah, I got you guys. I got a photo for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh
Gotta
my God.
Is there any other stories you want to share with us, or?
There's no pressure.
No, you know what? There's one. It's the same guy that can crap anywhere. So we were in Big Bear, which is like just in the mountains from here, not too far. But we went there for like a catalog shoot, and we stayed in a friend's cabin, and it only had one bathroom, but there was like 10 people staying there.
Oh my God.
So I was like, well, shit, when can I go? And then I went down there, the door was locked, went down there again, door's locked again. I'm like, damn it. So I go outside and take a piss. And when I did, I'm like, oh my God. And then I called my buddy, his name's Rodent. I was like, Rodent. I was like, look at this, a fucking bear, pile of bear shit out here, you know? Because we were talking about bears the whole night. We're up at Big Bear. We're like, dude, we gonna see any bears? Like, and then he comes and looks at it, and he's like, hey, player. He's like, I hate to tell you. He goes, that ain't no bear shit. And I'm like, what? And I'm looking at this pile of shit. I've never even seen a pile of shit this big in my life. It's huge. It's like, it's gigantic pile of shit. And it's like a mound of pudding. You know what I mean? It's not even like turds. It's like, oh my God. So he goes, player, a bear would never shit that close to the house. And I'm like, and I think about it, and I'm like, yeah, why would a bear shit real close to the house? But I couldn't think of any other reason why all this shit would be here. And then it's my buddy, I don't want to say his name. I was like, hey man, get the fuck out here. And he's like, man, I'm sorry. Just like, there's just one bathroom. And I'm like, that's you? You did that? One go? He's like, yeah. And I was like, you were going to leave it here? Because it's our friend's cabin. He's like, well, and I was like, clean that shit up. We're cleaning the house up and we got to go. And he cleaned it up in a trash bag. And then we had to drive the van down this hill to this local dump where we're throwing all our beer cans and trash out, whatever. And I said, hey, throw your shit out. Maybe I said that first. Mm-hmm. And he took it like this, like a you know, like went like this, and then so he could throw it into the dumpster, like got it some extra power, and it hit the dumpster, and it was like, boom. Oh, it was like, it was a lot. I don't even know how that's humanly possible. That's why I thought of bear shit next to the house.
Oh my God.
Jesus. How tall is he? Is he a small? I could just imagine him being a smaller guy, but making massive shit.
He's skinny, and he might be 6 feet tall. So he's a good sized guy, but he eats a lot.
God damn.
He's one of those guys that won't stop eating all day long, and he skates it off. So there's probably no fat on his body, but like that was a good percentage of his body weight that he left behind.
Oh, he definitely lost more than half a pound.
Oh yeah, that was probably a 7 pound shit if I had to guess.
Player, that ain't no bear shit.
Say, player, hate to tell you, like, that ain't no bear.
Oh my God, it's so good. Holy fuck. Oh man, you brought some great things. So good. Well, if there's nothing else, we only have 2 short segments. The first one we call "Let's Get Shitty," where you get to complain about stuff. It doesn't have to be about shit, but if it is, you get extra points. And then we do a little quick news story after that. So I'm gonna play.
What's the second thing? A quick what?
Oh, it's a little quick news segment, but I'll play.
Oh, news. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do a little quick, there's a little intro for the "Let's Get Shitty" part, and we'll get into it. Here we go.
Sounds good.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Let's Get Shitty.
Yes, this is the complaint department of the show. So again, since you're our guest, if you want to go first, Mike, you don't have to complain about. Like I said, it could be anything that's on your mind, that's pissing you off.
Oh man, you know what? I'm not a political person. I don't try to be. I don't want to be. But Donald Trump is a huge piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm not backing him whatsoever. I'm sorry if this like fucks with your guys' views or anybody listening to views.
No.
But I just can't. It's just like he's just the worst. Just the worst leader. Like it's like even if you don't follow politics, just his way, the way he talks to people, the way he's just not a leader. He's not my guy.
I'm with you. We both are. Ellen and I both in the same camp. We can't stand him.
Yeah.
And it's just there's no sense of like.
And like I said, I don't want to get political and bring anybody down, but that's the shittiest thing on my mind right now is Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope that we vote him out.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
All about voting blue, no matter who.
Yeah. We gotta do something. But I'm with you on that.
I know.
one.
It's like how could it be? How could it get worse? Like if it's worse than him, then like holy shit!
Yeah.
Do we go to Canada? Do we go to New Zealand? Where do we go? Like,
Yeah, I
They
don't
won't
know.
allow us in their countries. They
Oh
don't
yeah.
want us.
They're like, fuck
I don't
you guys.
blame them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't blame them.
I'm with you.
Damn it!
Yeah, it's a bummer for sure.
You know what? I'm a positive person. I don't have anything to really shitty to complain about. I guess the shittiest thing, that I have to complain. It's not even a complaint. It's just like I just want this whole COVID thing to go away and for everybody to be safe and everybody to be able to hang out with everybody again and get back to normal and just like I want to visit New York City again. I want to visit my friends in Brooklyn too. I want to go so many places. And I'm like, right now it's like in my mind, whether it's safe to travel or unsafe, it's fucking with me. So that's a shitty thing. I don't want any bad thoughts in my mind.
Yeah.
And I don't want any bad thing to happen to any of my friends. And I got a couple friends that have COVID. They beat it, thankfully. But it's like I just want it to be a better place. You know, I want to get back to normal. Yeah, because it's like you don't know what you got till it's gone, and it's like that's true right now. It's like man, like
definitely makes you appreciate like things and family and friends and just being able to like go outside without having to worry about like getting potentially sick and dying.
I know.
That's the crazy thing. Like that's the
But the sadder part is that like places like New York and California are taking pretty good precautions, but then there are other states that aren't, and I don't want those states traveling here and reinfecting us.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long road, man. Before something's got to happen. Like if it's the vaccine or if it's like I'm hoping that it's like some type of like when you get the flu or whatever, like a gnarly cold, and sometimes they give you the Z-Pack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there something like that? Like, is there something where, like, all right, if I'm like deathly ill, take the Z-Pack and you'll be fine. Like, just to stop the dying, because we've all been sick. I'm not scared of getting sick, but it's like I'm scared of the COVID sickness. Like, I don't because it's like
you don't know
if you. Yeah, you don't know. It's like a gamble. Like I don't play Russian roulette for fun either. So I'm not.
No, I'm with you. It's just like this. Like, it's the not knowing part that drives me crazy. It's just like you just never, know. And these people act like these psychos act like they're like experts, like walking around with like no mask, no social distancing, and like I'm like, what school did you go to for medicine or like? You don't know
that's
shit.
The sadder part because this COVID thing is not about politics; it's about health and science.
Yeah.
And for these idiots who are making it political, it's like, you guys, there's history on pandemics. We just have to look at the science and then go from there.
Yeah. I went to school for graphic design. That's what I purposely did that because I suck at math and science. Like, so I just like people that are good at that. Like, just listen to them. Like, it's just like stay in your fucking lane.
Expert. Yeah.
I don't know shit.
Yeah. And then the next thing I guess is just like I keep going back. I don't know why, but I just want to turn off the news and just let somebody tell me when it's over. You know what I mean? Like I just want to like, man, it's just a bummer, Yeah. But other than that, I'm a happy, positive person, and I just want everybody to get better and get back to doing fun stuff.
That's awesome.
Completely.
Yeah. What about you, Ellen?
My Let's Get Shitty is just the crackhead that lives in my building woke both me and my partner up at like so early this morning we don't even know. He was screaming in the hallway. Screaming. And we should have called like 311 or 911 even at that point. But we were so tired. We were like, what the fuck is like, I thought like the building was exploding. Yeah. But I'm starting to get a hold of a lawyer because my landlord won't kick him out because the landlord's too busy trying to sell the building, but nobody wants to buy the building with a crackhead in it. And so, like, I'm getting my own lawyer, so the other 5 units we can get after my landlord. I was just talking to a lawyer today, so cross your fingers for me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hope it gets better. Hey, what's Ellen? What's 311? I've never dialed 311.
It's kind of in New York. It's like for like non-emergency, but you can like do noise complaints or check if there's alternate side parking, or like 311 is like the city line, but not. 911 should be like for fire or somebody.
We probably have that here too. I just never knew what it was. I never.
Yeah, it's like because people just like be calling 911 for the dumbest shit. So they finally just made this thing. So it's just like, look, everything else, just call this number, okay?
Yeah.
Like, don't bother us about like loud noises.
What about you, Dave? You got
mine again. Number one with a bullet is technology. I mean, I work with computers all the time and all this shit. I'm pretty well versed with it, so it's not a big deal. But I updated my OS system on my computer, and then now, of course, all this shit that I thought was working is now not working. So I got to go back and find all these like serial numbers, and I just don't get like this whole like nothing's easy. Like I got to get work done, and nothing. I got to fucking download this. I got to like upload this. I got to fucking go back and type this in, and it's just fucking with my shit to the point where I think it just added to my stress today before this whole show started. But yeah, technology. It's never.
Hey, but at least it gives you work to do, so you don't go outside.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I'm actually more busy now than I was before all this shit started, which is crazy.
I bet.
Which I was busy before this. So no. It's busy in other ways, but yeah, it's good. But the technology part just drives me fucking crazy. So, but we're gonna take all that shit and we're flush it down the toilet. So here we go.
Yeah, flush it.
Yeah, flush that shit.
There we go.
Bye-bye, problem.
So
I could flush the squatter.
I just got one. I know, right? That'd be great. Get his ass out of there. So we've got one little quick news story, and we'll get you out of there, Mike. So
okay,
just gonna play this little theme song, and then we'll do it. Here we go.
All right.
So I'm not gonna lie, like I was working up until the last minute, and I forgot to find a story, but I just found the best one like 2 minutes before Ellen called me. So you know that comedian Tiffany Haddish?
I love her.
She's like that's yeah. So
yeah, I love her too.
She was on this it's this thing called Bleacher Report. I think it's like a sports network. I actually don't know, but there's this basketball player named Serge Ibaka who's got a cooking show on there, and she was his guest. So anyway, she confessed to him like about halfway through this segment that when she was 21, she shit in an ex-boyfriend's sneakers. It turns out,
God bless her.
yeah, she was like, she's like 39 now. Yeah, she's 39 now, and she was 21 when this happened. But I guess the boyfriend had cheated on her, and and it's really weird because, like she said, I quote, "He cheated on me on videotape on my birthday." I'm like, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah, those are crazy. So she wound up. She's basically said like, I felt like he pooed on my sole, so then I decided to poop in the sole of his shoes. So I like her even better now. Oh, she's the best. So she shit in the shoes, but then so it didn't end there. She was just like, look, I got to do something else with this guy. So she shit in the shoe, and then like, obviously he didn't see it, and then was like, hey, let's go and play some basketball together. Let's go out and shoot some hoops. I was like, yeah, sure. It's like, why don't you put those new Jordans on, you guys? Like, oh yeah. Put them on, and then she told him as he was tying up that she had shit in them. And so he was like sliding around in that shit in this brand new Jordans.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
you didn't even see it.
And she said that she ate a bunch of corn the night before to get a nice good consistency too.
I think I would have felt it right. I could smell anything, so I would have smelt it first, and then I definitely would have been like, "This shoe ain't fitting right. What's going on here?"
Well, she's like, the second she got it in there, she's like, I ran out the house and was like, "Peace."
Yeah.
And she's like, he wasn't going to chase me because he had shit all over his foot. So
Yeah, that's good.
But I thought that was genius. I thought that was a hilarious, like, you know.
Yeah, I like her even more. You could tell by her, like, her comedic attitude, like that she's like, yeah, she's definitely gets fired up. You know?
Yeah.
I love it.
She's passionate.
Yeah,
which I love.
I love it.
Oh my God. But anyway, with that story, Mike, thank you so much for being on our show, man.
Hey,
I really
thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice to meet you digitally, and then when all this COVID's done, I'll stop by the studio.
Oh, hell yeah.
Come over and hopefully your crackhead will be gone too, and then I get to meet the Oreo Queen as well.
Oh, you can meet Dottie, yeah, for sure. She got a new fan. She's cool.
Heck yeah.
Well, look, stay safe out there, and you know, I'll keep in touch.
Yes,
Heck yeah.
thank you so much.
Please do. Yeah,
Right,
nice to meet
Happy
you.
pooping, everybody, and toot toot toot.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect 4 Entertainment. Produced by Dave and Ellen, with executive producer Stormy Leather. Edited by me, Dave.
For more information, go to heypoopypodcast.com for episodes, merch, and more. Follow us on Instagram at Hey Poopy Podcast and Twitter at Hey Poopy. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy.